Sadnam Aloha. So this is a report transmission for the weekend. And we know that the weekend is the big full moon. And I did a video on Tuesday about that. So if you haven't watched it, be sure to have a look, to be prepared. And so this is for the weekend transmission here, and it's April 11th to the 13th. And the sun is in gate 42 for the weekend. And so the theme here is the purpose of the cycle was not about happiness. It was about growth. So this weekend is about completing a cycle, So we'll go over the 42nd gate, which is in the sun and Chiron. And we'll go into the 42nd gate Parrot medicine. Parrot is the totem for the 42. And then we'll do a Phoenix fractal reading, and then a twin flame message, and then human design type messages, and then a meditation for this weekend. And this is a Kundalini yoga meditation that I have on my website for free. Okay, so there's the chart there. So there's the 42 coming off the sacral. Right, so there's the full moon is in the 32, and then the 42 over here. So the 42nd gate, and you may have this natally, be sure to check out your chart. And if you don't have your chart, go into the information box and you'll see a link. Get your free chart and click there. So what's this gate about? This gate is about beginnings with the intention to finish. So it's about completing. This comes from the channel of maturation, the 4253. So as humans, we're spiritual beings having human experiences. We go through cycles of experience. So everything actually on the planet that's alive has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Right? So even your experiences have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So these are the beginnings with the intention to finish, to complete. And this is emotional growth through experience. This is spiritual growth through experience. And knowing when a cycle is complete and knowing when to let go and not to cling. But the shadow of the 42 is its expectation is the shadow, right? And the shadow here is repeating the same emotional loop over and over and over again. It's staying in something that's long after it's over, long after its expiry date, and not completing a cycle because you're stuck in expectation, guilt, or hope that things will change, right? So the sun is really illuminating this for us this weekend, and also it's bringing up deep wounding around completion, right? Because Chiron is activating it as well. And then, so here's some things, right? So there's detachment is the gift of the 42. So here's some thoughts that may come up for you, right? And so this is all about, you can see this image here, going on your call to go on a different path. And so remember, on the spiritual journey, you're either evolving or you're dying, right? Either you're evolving or you're dying, those two forces. So I'm either moving ahead on my spiritual journey or I'm dying my life, and I'm trying to prevent growth and evolution. If you're on my fractal, if you're on the Phoenix fractal, you're not here to be complacent. You're not here to be stagnant. You're not here for a vacation lifetime. You know, you're on my fractal, you're going to have you're going to have Pluto and Scorpio. You're going to have a lot of scorpionic placements in your chart, even Black Moon Lilith in your chart, or a lot of 8th house planets, like a stellium in the 8th house. Or you just really resonate with my messages. You're not here for a kickback lifetime. You're not here for a vacation lifetime. Like, I'm just going to chill out for this lifetime. It's like, no, you're here to grow and evolve. But these are huge cords, right? These energy cords that you have with these karmics, right, with these karmics that you're being called to let go of, right, this weekend. So here's some, you know, thoughts that can come up in your head, like I was supposed to grow with him, my masculine. We were healing together. Why did he stop? Right? I held this relationship for years and years, maybe, and now he's gone. Right? Maybe he's physically there, but energetically and spiritually, he's MIA. Right? And so this can seem very unfair to you. I've done all this work. I've invested so much in this person. Right? He's supposed to be there with me. This is the expectation. I have the expectation that he's supposed to be there, and this is how our life is supposed to go. And now the divine is giving you a different information, different story, right? You're getting a different story. So I thought we had a purpose together. I thought we had a soul purpose. I thought he was my soulmate, right? That I would be, I finally found my soulmate, and phew, we're done, right? He's the one. He's the one. The forever, right? The forever relationship. And you gave your all, right? You gave your all. You were 100% in, 100% committed, but the other person didn't. They weren't all in. So you feel like you did everything right, but still you end up alone, right? So what's the deepest fear here? So these are just some examples, right? What's your deepest fear here is, did I fail the mission? Did I fail my soul's mission? And no, your soul grew beyond it. The mirror shifted. Your relationship is a mirror, And when you grow and evolve, he has to grow and evolve because he's the mirror. And if he doesn't grow and evolve, it shifts, right? The mirror shifts. You're not getting a clear mirroring anymore, right, from this masculine. That's why twin flames are so potent. When you meet your twin flame, they give you the mirror. They're giving you the divine mirror. They're showing you your shadows, but they're also showing you your greatest gifts and strengths, right? That's the clearest mirror that you'll find in this lifetime, is your twin flame. Okay, so let's keep going with this. Right, so, you know, it's okay that you didn't end up like you dreamed it would, right? This relationship, this experience, because it made you who you are today, right? It's not about this attachment to a dream. So you're not here to create the perfect love story. You're here to grow beyond your ancestral patterns. Remember that the tribal consciousness is being mutated out of humanity, and that's the bargain. What it meant for your ancestors to be in relationship, right? The sacrifice that your mother and your grandmother made for a relationship, and it was all based on survival, right? You're growing beyond this. You're not here just to survive. You're here to grow and evolve as a soul, and then to share your gifts, right? Your soul level gifts with humanity. So you didn't fail the soul contract. You didn't fail. You fulfilled your side, your end of the bargain. You fulfilled it, and that's enough. This means that it's done, right? 42 is about endings. So this is, you're being called to let go of relationship stories that never resolved. IDK, I don't know, right? I don't know. With this relationship, it's still a mystery to me of why it ended. That's the mind. I need resolution. I need the why, right? I need those answers. It's like you're being called to just let go and not know. I don't know. Grieving what never became. Grieving the future, those future dreams that you had with this person, right? And grieving that. And remember with letting go, divine feminines, it has to happen at the body. Remember, your body is so important. So you have to have a somatic release, right? Your body has to grieve, not just your mind, But your body has to grieve the relationship. And so there's grieving to be done here. And the meditation I'm going to share with you is very powerful to do that. And this is ending relationships without mutual closure, right? Maybe that person's not going to come forward and give you the reasons why. Give your ego and mind the reasons why. Why? You got to let go of this why. You have to end it, right? And to honor the past without the chains to the past, right? So you honor the past, the memories, and the growth that you experience through this relationship, but you're not going to be chained by it, right? Because really, you know, the grieving is you're grieving not just the relationship in the future that never came to fruition, but you're also grieving an old identity, right? An old identity. It's like old clothes, you know? You're letting go of these old clothes. So there's a grieving too around identity. There's just grieving. And that's when you know that you feel that you fully let go. You're accepting that some soulmates only walk with you part of the way, right? Part of the path with you. They're not walking the whole way, but they walk part of the path with you. And that's the soul contract. If you are committed to your growth and evolution, then some are just only destined to walk so far. You know, like back to these two, right? She has to keep moving on. He's going somewhere else. Okay, so let's talk about the parrot. People love the animals. I do too. I'm a big animal lover. We can learn so much from them. So the totem, because every gate, all the 64 gates have a totem animal, and the 42nd is the parrot. There's the parrot there. So the parrot repeats, right? It repeats. And the 42 is all about cycles, right? The 53, 42, if we go back to this channel, that's the channel of maturation. So it's about cycles, going through cycles and learning from these cycles of experience. So this fits well, right, with this repetition. That's what the parrot does. So the parrot here isn't just mirroring thoughts. The parrot is mirroring unconscious vows, right? The ones that you made long ago in your past lives. That's what the parrot is showing you too. That's why it's so challenging to let go of these relationships, because they're very karmic, right? It's not about like, see you later, I'm done with you. It's very karmic. And they're rooted, Parrot says they're rooted in these vows that you made in past lives. And here are some examples. I'll wait for you, right? I'll wait for you to heal. I'll heal you this time, right? This is showing you that I love you, right? Because I'm waiting for you. I'm here for you, right? At the expense of my own growth and evolution. I will suffer for love. Even if it kills me, I'll suffer for love, right? Made in past lives. If I lose you, I won't survive. That's a big one, right? The survival thing, like I need this person to survive. And it comes from your past lives. I will carry it, and not only carry, I'll absorb your pain. I'll do the work for you. I'll do your inner work for you. I'll carry your pain. I'll transmute the pain, right? And I do this lifetime after lifetime after lifetime until you remember me. Finally, you're going to remember me, right? If I do all this work for you, this internal work. And guess what? You can't play these games anymore. Not with the cross of the sleeping phoenix coming in 2027, the Aquarian age. You have to do your own work. This is all about self-sovereignty. The age of truth in 2027 coming, right? Nobody can do the work for you. You have to do it yourself. So it's dangerous. You're going to get yourself very sick and ill if you're trying to carry and absorb other people's pain. Right? So, this other person in your life has to do it themselves. So you want to be breaking these vows. So these are past life loops, right? And they're stored in your nervous system. It's all in your body, Divine Feminines. It's in your nervous system, these past life loops. That's why it's really important and crucial that you inhabit your body, you're fully present in your body, and you can know when you're around a karmic relationship. You're going to sense when your energy is leaking, right? And it's going to be coming from your solar plexus, your navel region. And it's like, I'm leaking my energy because of these vows that I took, right? Long time ago, and go back to the Cathars, right? That's the root of a lot of this stuff, right? So, so you want to let this go, right? Relaxing the body, refusing to carry someone else's pain and absorb their pain, right? Because you don't want to get into this past life loop with this person, and then you're on the wheel next lifetime after that. So the gate 42 with Chiron says, this karmic cycle isn't yours to repeat anymore, right? This is a wounding. Chiron is a wounding. Sun is showing you the dynamic, and then Chiron is showing you the wound here. So it's not yours to repeat anymore. And the Parrot's saying that too. The voice that once said yes and loyalty to this person, right? The voice that says lifetime after lifetime, love means to be loyal. This is so tribal, right? I'm going to be loyal to this person, even if they throw me a crumb. Every month they're going to throw me a crumb of love, but I'm going to stay loyal. I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm going to suffer for love, right? That's not love. You're completely blowing up this paradigm of relationship, and the Scorpio people are here to do that, right? They're here to blow these old paradigms from your ancestors up. This is so tribal, right? The bargain, right? Loyalty at all costs to you. So the voice that once said yes and loyalty to this person from all your past lives, is the same one, now needs to say no for the liberation of your soul. This is about your soul's evolution. You need to start choosing you in this lifetime, not this other person. You want to choose you. They are in the divine's hands, right? They have to do their own inner work. You can't do it for them. And you can't go into that belief system that, well, when they heal, then once I heal them, then I can heal. And then I can spend time on my soul's evolution. No, you have to choose you. You have to choose you. And right away, you're going to be faced with these old belief systems like, oh, that means it's to be, if I'm married and I'm thinking about myself, I'm selfish, right? You have to face all these old belief systems. But the Parrot is saying to stop. Stop repeating these stories. You're repeating stories over and over and over and over and over and over, right? Parrot says stop. So Parrot here as your medicine totem is here to help you stop repeating the wound and speak the truth instead of remaining silent, right? So you want to speak the truth instead of remaining silent. So this is the suffer. I'm going to suffer, even if my partner doesn't even see me suffering, doesn't even notice that I'm in pain, doesn't notice that I'm depressed, doesn't notice that I'm not doing well in my life. But I'm going to remain silent because that's what it means to love somebody. That's BS. BS, right? You want to start speaking the truth instead of remaining silent. You want to break this vow. You want to break this ancestral curse in your relationships. Denying your own needs, right? Parrot's helping you with that, not to stop denying your own needs. And break the vow with the sound of your voice. And remember, the Pluto and Scorpios, or heavy Scorpio in your chart, they have to break the silence, right? The high priestess in hiding, right? So you break that vow with the sound of your voice. You need to say it. That's what Parrot is saying. I'm not playing this cycle anymore with you, right? I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Okay, so let's go to the readings here. Okay, so let's start off with the fractal line, the Phoenix fractal line, I call you. And fractal line means soul, like soul tribe, you can call it that. And how you know you're on my fractal line is that you're grooving with my message, right? You feel the resonance in your body, especially. Your body relaxes when you listen to my voice. And you just feel, comfortable. And you're just aligned. You're aligned. So you'll know. And if you're irritated by me, then you're probably not on my fractal line. So this is for my fractal line here. And this is why it's a good idea for you to comment, because if you're on my fractal line, then others too are on my fractal line that are here, especially on the regular. And you can say, yeah, I'm a high priestess in hiding. Remember, that's the first step to come out of hiding. It's just to put something in the comment box, right? And break this spell, this vow that you made back in the time of the Cathars, right? Where silence meant survival, and to break that. Okay, but let's get into this for the fractal. So, like I said, I don't know if you're interested in this, but I say a prayer and I get myself into a real neutral space, and right, and then I ask the question, what does my fractal need to know for this weekend? And then I shuffle, and then the cards start jumping. So I only take cards that jump out, and sometimes they come in reverse, and sometimes they come in sideways like this. So just so you know, so it's really like the divine is picking. That's what I feel. Okay, so what do the cards say overall for this weekend with Chiron and the Sun and the 42? Is we're ready to move, but we're still grieving. And we're no longer pretending that this defines us, right? And so let's walk through this then. So what's the story? So this is the first question here, is what's the story I'm still repeating, and why? And it's the Chariot, right? So this is, I have to keep moving forward even if I'm not fully healed. I got to keep moving on, right? Look at those two horses. So this is the push through story, right? So the masculine is the masculine, achievement driven. This is masculine energy here. Don't stop now, keep, like, push through, suck it up, right? So this is what you've done in your relationships and spiritual growth, is pushing through, not giving yourself time. Like, I've got to push through the heartache. I don't got time to feel my feelings about this. I've just got to speed up my healing. I got to just do what I got to do without, not being the divine feminine. So this is your masculine completely out of balance with your divine feminine. I'm going to push through it. I'm not going to pause, because I have to feel, right? I'll have to feel when I pause, right? And so gate 42 is saying you're not weak because you have to pause, right? That you have to give yourself a minute to be alone with your feelings, right? This is you honoring your divine feminine, right? Is to get off the chariot, get off the horses there, and go and sit. Go sit by a stream or something, right? Give yourself some time to grieve and to feel what you're feeling, because that's where your power is. Your power is not this, right? You're the feminine. You're not the masculine. You're the divine feminine. So you're not stuck because you have to slow down, because there's that FOMO, right? Like, I'm gonna miss out on something if I don't keep moving. I'll be left behind or whatever, right? So stop sprinting through the grief. Stop trying to spiritual bypass with this chariot. That's what it's saying. And then calling that growth. Well, I got over it, right? Last week, You know, I did some exercise. I didn't feel anything, but I'm over it. I'm over it now. Don't be fooling yourself. That's spiritual leapfrog, and that's the ego. Okay, so that's the story that you've been repeating over and over and over and over again, right? And then what cycle is truly complete? What cycle is truly complete here? Here, and even if it didn't close properly. So you got the Page of Cups reversed and then the Ten of Swords reversed. So this is the inner child, right? Page of Cups, the inner child, heartbreak. So this is the moment you realize, right? He's not showing up. He's not showing up. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. He's not showing up. He's not changing. He's not rising, right? He's not going to apologize, right? This version of love that you held on to is gone. This is gone now. That's what this says. So this is the divine feminine that's stayed loyal to the possibility, right? To the potential of someone long after your soul knew different. Like your soul has been intuitively messaging you, right? Sending you the texts, your intuition, but you're not listening, right? So the soul knows this is gone, this is over. This old identity, right? This old self, not self, is gone. So this is like you kept writing love letters to someone that wasn't reading them. You kept investing in this relationship, right? But now the page is silent. The Page of Cups is silent because it's reversed here. And the wound is ready to close, right? Because you've got the Ten of Swords reversed. And she's got crows here on this stack. This is the Lightseer stack. But you know, the traditional tarot is the 10 swords in the back, right? But when it's reversed, they're being taken out. The swords are being taken out. So it's really, really healing here. So the wound is ready to close, right? This wound. And so completion isn't always like this big to-do, right? This complete, I finally completed. I had this huge ritual. It can be quiet. That's what this is saying. It's just quiet. It's like a quiet knowingness. And this is your inner child grieving, right? Grieving. But seeing the truth of it. Seeing the truth of it. Because the 42 is connected to the 53. And that's the channel of maturation. And the 53 is immaturity, right? So this is like Page of Cups is immature love, right? This is the inner child that wanted to be saved, right? That wanted the attention from her father that she never got, right? The love from her father that she never got. And a lot of Pluto and Scorpio, which I'm going to do a video on, I think I talked about it in my last video, is there's a transit that happened in the 80s and 90s, right? Because we're talking 84 to 1995. Saturn and Neptune were conjunct in Capricorn, right? And Neptune dissolves. So this is what this means is that a lot of Pluto and Scorpio women, the father was MIA, right? Either through divorce or just not around, or maybe he was physically around. He was in and out. He was inconsistent, but you didn't have this father present. So this is why this Page of Cups, right? In terms of love, it would be your inner child running the show and choosing your partner, not you, the divine feminine in your power, right? But that's another video. Okay. So this is quiet. It's like a quiet, like no more. Right? No more. This is completed. This is done. And really it's about you coming in touch with your self-worth, divine feminines. So what's your soul ready to say out loud for the first time that you've been in denial, right? What's your soul ready to say? You've got the 5 of Swords sideways and the 2 of Cups sideways. And this is how they both landed in this position here. So as I still love them, right? Because you got the Two of Cups here. I still love them, but I'm tired of holding this alone. See, she's alone. I still have love, right? That's not wrong. I still have love for this person, but I'm tired. Look, Five of Swords. I'm alone in this relationship, right? There's not showing up. He's not showing up. So this is guilt and grief, right? Guilt and grief mix, where you haven't let yourself fully say how much it's hurt. And now you're ready. You're ready to acknowledge it. Like, this has really caused me a lot of pain, this relationship. I'm not in denial anymore. I'm not silent in my pain and suffering, because you're breaking that vow, right? Because part of them still, and then you've got part of you still feels guilty for loving someone who wasn't capable of meeting you. So you can have some guilt too, right? What did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? And they're still not meeting me. They're still not rising to me, right? How much more can I love them? But it's all one-sided, right? It's one-sided. So this connection was real at one time. Two of Cups sideways says that. Yes, definitely this relationship was real at one time. But it's expired, right? It's not alive anymore. It's not alive anymore. There's no energy anymore. And now now your soul is ready to say, right? I loved you, but I'm done, right? I'm done. I loved you, but now I'm done, right? I'm not going to hold this pain anymore to be in this facade, right? Of being in a relationship. It's done. It's over. So where are you still holding emotional weight that isn't yours? And that's this, the Knight of Cups reversed here. So this is his story, his emotional immaturity, this Knight of Cups reversed. So his false starts, his mixed signals, throwing you a crumb once in a while out of the blue, promising things, big things, not following through, things like that, in and out. This is the Knight of Cups reversed. And anything, all his romance, right? However he expressed that, never came to fruition. There was no action behind his words. So you're still carrying this illusion, this delusion, divine feminine, that he was deep, right? Knight of Cups reversed is, you want the King of Cups, you don't want the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is not deep, right? He's in and out, and shallow. He's in love with the story of romance, not the actual reality day to day, right? So you're still carrying the illusion that he was deep when he was really inconsistent. You projected a soul connection with someone who was completely unavailable, right? This is the father wound. And it doesn't mean the bond wasn't sacred, but it does mean his behavior was not. His behavior was not. So it's time to put down the fantasy of this, that he's going to change, and to grab a spine, divine feminine. It's time to grab a spine, and that means to start respecting yourself. You have to be, you're putting up with this, you're not respecting yourself, you're not loving yourself, right? He's not rising. So this is what this card is saying here. And then, how can you now celebrate? Even if it's painful to let go, how can you celebrate? This doesn't look like a celebration, but it is. Nine of Swords reversed. I'm not haunted anymore, right? Nine of Swords is like, I'm up at 3 a.m. and I'm worrying and I have so much anxiety and what's wrong with me? What do I need to do? Right? This is like, no, I'm not haunted by these thoughts anymore. It may still sting, right? You may still cry. She's crying, and it may sting and hurt, but the terror has passed because you can see the truth now. I'm alone in this relationship. He's in and out. He's not mature. He's immature. He can't meet me. He's not going where I'm going on the path. He's not moving forward, right? So this is the great thing about the truth. The truth is bitter at first. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's real, right? And once that truth just gets in, then you can start living authentically, right? And then attract your true divine masculine to you, your true relationship. So you're no longer waking up in panic and wondering, did I lose my one chance at love with this guy, right? He was my one chance. He was my soulmate. That story, the parrot, right? Repeating the story. This is the moment where the spell breaks, because karma comes with a spell, right? It's like there's this lens that comes over you, the karmic glasses. You can't see this person clearly. You can't see them in truth. It starts to break. And then your body softens, divine feminine, right? Then your body softens. And this means you're coming into your power, right? You've had a tight body with this. Tight, contracted, constricted body, not breathing properly. Your nervous system was activated. And now it's like you're letting go of the spell, right? And then your body can soften. So that's reason to celebrate. So the fear was worse than the reality, right? What your ego was telling you. I need him for survival, and I need this. He's the only one. He's the only fish in the sea for me, right? This is, and I'm still here, and I'm okay. I'm still alive, right? Wow, I moved through this and I'm still alive. I'm still standing. You have to look at it in context, right? Who were you before you met him? You were still probably okay, doing okay, right? And who will you be after you meet him? You'll be okay, right? So it's like embracing these cycles that you're going through. And then the anchor here is the Four of Wands and the Six of Swords here. So this is the anchor card. So what truth will set you free and let you rise this weekend? So the Four of Wands, that's a nice happy card. And then the Six of Swords is a happy card too, in a sense. So home is not behind me. It's ahead of me. This is not your home. This energy here with this karmic is not your home. Your home is waiting for you, right? Your home is waiting for you. So this is true union. The Four of Wands, true union. This is true belonging, right? It didn't happen in the past. It's not this, but it's coming, right? It's coming. But it only arrives when you stop trying to build with this. This is shifting sands. You're trying to, if you look at your relationship as a structure, like a home, this is built on shifting sands. Right? There's no real foundation here, but it's coming, right? It's coming here. So it's still to come, but it only arrives when you stop this fantasy that you're in. So the Four of Wands is the new sacred foundation. This is a new sacred foundation. And then the Six of Swords is the decision to leave this. This is rough waters. Right? The rough waters. And the Six of Swords is like moving out of the rough waters into the calm seas. Right? And so the decision to leave, even if your heart still lingers here. Right? So this is your Phoenix medicine. And then if we look to the parrot, because we want to bring the parrot in here too. You've been repeating the story of love that almost was. Almost was. It almost landed. But the parrot says, speak something new now. And let this grief and this pain become a blessing, right? And let this silence become like an old song. So it's like honoring the past, but not being bound to it. Knowing that something better is waiting for you. And that's how it works with on the spiritual path, is you let go of something, but you can't see what's on the horizon. It never works like that, because that would be the easy way. Oh, I can see something over there. I'm gonna just be like a frog and hop from that lily pad over to this lily pad. No, it's the letting go is part of the healing, right? And then the new starts to emerge. Okay, so that's what I got for the fractal. Okay, so let's go to the TFs, the twin flames connection here for this weekend. And so this, you can read this, if you're on the twin flame journey, you can read it different ways. Like you can read it as your masculine, the masculine presence in your life right now. So this could be your karmic or your false twin. And then of course, right, so this is like longing for someone to who's not rising, he's not rising. And then also you can look at it as your twin flame. So you can read it both ways. So what part of this connection was real, right? And what part was projection? So you got the Ace of Pentacles twin flames. So this says, right, this is a seed, right? The Ace of Pentacles is a seed. The seed was real. That's what this says. But it was never in the right soil. Didn't have the right conditions to grow. So you may have felt the potential with your twin, right? And you saw the vision and you knew that this could be really sacred, right? This could be really a deep, deep spiritual connection, but it never took root. It never took root. And this is why separation happens, right? Separation, because both parties have to do their work, their own inner work, to come together. And it's basically so that soil is fertile, right? So there's no fertile soil here. And it wasn't because you weren't worthy, Divine Feminine. It was because the other person wasn't ready to co-create, right? The other person wasn't ready. So you didn't imagine the connection. A lot of twin flames are like, was that in my head? This is so delulu, right? Like this sounds crazy. Or if I mention it to people, I look like I'm insane. No, this is saying that, no, it was real. It was real. It is real. But you may have projected. Where you got into fantasies, you may have projected, right? Like looking over the work that your twin had to do, your masculine had to do, right? And that's where you could get into a little bit of a fantasy. Oh, my twin's ready. We're going to build together. And it's like, clearly they're not ready. And it also means you're not ready. But this is the first layer of truth. The bond was real, but the future wasn't, right? The future wasn't real. It's not grounded. It's not grounded. And also this full moon, I didn't talk about this, but Venus and Saturn are close together. And, you know, Saturn's real, right? Saturn wants this Ace of Pentacles to go into the ground and come to fruition. But it's about getting real with your connection, right? Can this really grow, this connection? So then what soul contract is now complete? And right here, what soul contract is now complete, even if the bond remains here. And so this is the stalemate, right? This the Two of Swords, and you can see the crows are trying to take away the blindfold, but she's like resisting it. She doesn't want to see. So this is the part of the connection where you're both feeling it, but no one's choosing. The Divine Feminine's not choosing, or the Divine Masculine are not choosing. So it's like a stalemate. But you're both feeling this connection. That's what this says. There's love, but there's no movement. There's no movement forward. There's soul recognition, but there's no action. So you're no longer, this is saying you're no longer meant to sit in the doorway. So this pause is no longer sacred anymore. It's self-abandonment. It's self-abandonment. So the contract of waiting is complete. The contract of waiting is complete. And the Divine Feminines are ready to walk forward, even if the mirror doesn't show up. right? So you're moving on. You're no longer waiting for your divine masculine. I'm moving forward on my soul's journey, right? In making that risk that the twin may not be there, right? But you have to keep moving forward. And both have to, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So no more waiting. That contract's done. So where are you still entangled in fantasy or hope? And look at this trio here. 10 of Pentacles, Devil reversed, and the King of Pentacles reversed. So this is deep and it's real. So you've been hoping for stability, the 10 of Pentacles. You've been hoping for partnership and long-term future with somebody who's emotionally, a man who's emotionally avoidant. So this is, remember, this is your karmic, your false twin or your real twin, right? And emotionally avoidant, spiritually immature, not showing up in the 3D, no matter what they feel in the 5D, right? Because there's union in the 5D where you feel one another, you feel each other's presence, but they're not showing up in the 3D. So they've been caught in a sacred fantasy, hoping that he'll get it. He'll finally get it. He'll finally realize that we're twin flames. He'll finally get it, right? And then he's going to magically become stable, and he's going to rise to the king energy. But the devil reverse says it's time to free yourself from the belief that he has to meet you for the connection to be real, right? So that's the thing with the twin flame, because it's all going on in the 5D. There's union in the 5D with the twin flames. And the 3D, it doesn't mean that your connection isn't real because he's not showing up in your 3D world, right? It doesn't mean it's not real. So the hope is real, but so is the fact that he's not ready, because the King of Pentacles reversed here. So it's all about divine timing, right? It's all about divine timing for to trust that divine feminines, that you want this flipped up, right? You want him showing up as the King of Pentacles. You want him to be stable, to meet you. Okay. And what is your twin flame truly reflecting to you now? Right here. What's the mirror? What's the mirror? What's the divine masculine mirroring to you, or the false twin mirroring to you? The Knight of Pentacles reversed. Stagnation. Delay. Knight of Pentacles moves at a snail pace anyway, but reversed. It's like he's almost retrograde, right? He's moving in reverse. He's going so slow. So this is delay. So this is the version of your divine masculine that says just enough to keep you waiting, but never moves, never moves. So, and deeper than this, this card reflects the part of you that's tired of waiting, but hasn't fully let yourself step forward. He's not moving because you haven't fully released the pattern that keeps checking back, right? So going back to your divine masculine, looking at his social media, talking to mutual friends, trying to get intel on him, right? That's you checking, that's you chasing. So it keeps him in this pattern, right, of not moving forward. So divine feminines have to move forward. You have to move forward. Listen to your intuition, obey your intuition. So this is the final mirror of inertia. So we're getting this weekend like a real completion, right? This no longer waiting. The contract of waiting is ending. So what part of your essence is ready to rise because of this love? There's the Four of Wands again. That was in the Fractal. Four of Wands, Three of Cups, and Judgment. Very powerful. So this is total Phoenix energy right here. Phoenix energy all over it. So the love, even in its heartbreak, has activated a deeper desire for sacred union. This is a call to a soul tribe, right? To be with your people, to be with your fractal, right? And the realization that you're not meant to carry this alone anymore, And just because you're on this channel too, right? So let us know if you're on the twin flame journey, because only other twin flames really know what you're going through. Like normal muggles, they're not going to know what you're going through. You sound insane. But other people that are on the twin flame journey, these are the new relationships, right? They really only started coming on the scene in the 1990s, these twin flame relationships. And they've been growing, and they've really started to grow after 2012. And we're going to see more and more and more and more of them coming out, right? People coming out and speaking that they're on a twin flame journey, like a real twin flame journey, right? So this is the Three of Cups energy. I'm not alone in this, just to have the support, right, of other people that are going through their twin flame experience. So you're not meant to carry this alone, fractals, on the fractal, divine feminines. And then judgment. This is the wake-up call. This is the wake-up call. So this isn't just romantic activation. This is soul alignment with a version of you that no longer tolerates getting breadcrumbs. This is you really stepping into your divine feminine, right? Into your power, into your self-value and self-worth. It's like no more. And this is what the twin flame helped to awaken in you. No more. I'm not being breadcrumbed anymore, right? I know my value. I know my worth. And this is letting go of these old vows, right? Of relationship vows. So you came here to be met in joy, not in potential, in celebration, not in confusion. And the love was real, but the becoming, that's yours now. That's yours now. And look at the anchor. Divine feminines want this guy right here. The King of Cups, right? Upright. So this is the real masculine, right? And this is who you're calling in, right? So either through your twin, you're not going to get it with your karmic, sorry to give you the bad news there, but you'll get it with your twin flame, your divine masculine, your counterpart. This is the guy right here, right? Not the Knight of Cups reversed in the fractal read. This is who you want, King of Cups. So this is what you're calling in, right? By you stepping up to your self-worth. So this isn't the fantasy twin. It's not the karmic placeholder that's in his place, your divine masculine. But this is the one who's emotionally stable. He's spiritually mature. And he's deep and clear and anchored in love without the need to manipulate. So this card is the reminder. The soul doesn't ask you to chase. You're not going to chase. It asks you to rise, right? So you're not chasing that karmic false twin. You're rising, right? You're rising in your frequency. You're becoming who you're meant to be, divine feminine, right? And so it asks you to rise and let the one who sees you meet you there, right? And the King of Cups will meet you there when you rise and you mature. The 42 and 53, right? So this is your new standard. You want this guy, King of Cups, my new standard. I don't settle for anything less than King of Cups. You come into me as a knight, I'm not interested, right? Come into me as a page, no, I'm not your mother, right? I want a king because I'm a queen. You're the queen. Okay, so the final kind of wrap up here is the bond was real, right? But the soil wasn't ready. You waited, you gave, you believed, and now your soul is saying it's time to walk. It's time to move forward on your journey. That means to rise in vibration. And your freedom is sacred, right? Your love was sacred, but so is your freedom. You were never asking for too much. You were never too much, right? You were asking the wrong mirror. Right? You were asking a Knight of Cups in reverse. Not your mirror. You've outgrown this mirror. This is your mirror now, the King of Cups. And now it's time to meet the one who doesn't need to be chased to rise. You don't need to nag the King of Cups. You don't need to pray and hope that he moves into this energy, right? He's there. That's who you're going to meet. Okay, that's powerful. Okay, And then let's go to, okay, so let's go to, what do we got up here? We got the MGs are up, the manifesting generators. Yeah. So 3 cards for them. So this is for the weekend MGs. And so what is this saying? What's the reading here to help you out, the guidance here? Well, you got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And so this is saying you kept showing up. You kept waiting for the shift to happen, right? But the offer never came. It's this karmic relationship, right? You kept showing up. So this is the loop of emotional breadcrumbs. These are the half-committed men, energetic investments with no return. No return. They kept trying to learn from it, fix it, alchemize it. But now your soul is saying, yeah, it's done. Stop looking for potential where there's no presence, right? Stop looking at, well, he'll change, right? We just have to go through, we have to go through this little thing that he's got going at work. And then when that's over, and oh, maybe when we have free time and we can go on a vacation again, right? It's always future destination consciousness, and that's potential. You got to look at the reality, and you've got to look at actions, right? Not words. This is what Pentacles is real, right? It's grounded, Page of Pentacles. So stop looking at potential of this relationship and start looking at the reality. And Venus conjunct Saturn is going to really help you this weekend. Then you've got the Ten of Swords reversed here. So you survived the betrayal and the hurt, and now it's stop carrying the weight of what was never got to heal, that you never got to heal with him, right? Stop carrying this weight here. So this is the final letting go of someone who didn't choose you, right? Who left quietly, right? Maybe he's physically present, but he went MIA a long time ago. He's not emotionally available. He's not spiritually available for you. He left a long time ago. Right? Or they couldn't meet you in truth. This relationship couldn't meet you in truth. There you are speaking the truth, demanding depth, right? I want some depth in this relationship. They couldn't meet you there because they don't have the depth, right, of you. They can't meet you. They can't hold you. This is the false twin, right? This is a karmic. And then, so you didn't fail. That's the message, is you didn't fail at this relationship. You just stayed too long trying to turn the ashes, right? Those ashes, the burned ashes of your relationship back into fire. And it's not working. So the anchor is strength reversed, and it's saying that you don't have to keep holding it together. You can stop trying to carry this, right? You're trying to keep it all together. So the MGs, right? You're emotionally exhausted. The strength reverse says you're emotionally, spiritually, mentally exhausted. And because they've held the masculine, you've held this masculine for far too long, right? You've been carrying him. This is the mother energy, right? Mothering your karmic, your child, basically, and you're exhausted now. You've held them in your body, so your body's paying the price. And MGs, you're supposed to have like this crazy amount of energy, and if your energy is like tanked, I don't have the energy, I'm tank, because you're feeding this relationship, you're feeding this karmic, because you're holding his pain that he's supposed to be integrating. You're holding his shadows, right? And it goes back to your past lives. Watch the beginning of this video. They'll learn about that. So, and then you're also holding him in your nervous system too. That trauma in your nervous system, right? So you're carrying him in so many ways. So strength reverse says this weekend, like, rest, right? And let it fall. You're not holding this anymore. Let it fall, right? Let it fall down. And so you're not broken. You haven't failed. You're just done, right? You're done like dinner. You're done with this. So this full moon is permission for you to collapse into truth, because that's real. Not because you're weak, but because the story is over. It's the 42. The story's over. So you kept the promise longer than you should have stayed in the story, right? So you're allowed to drop this now. You're allowed to drop this story now. And the ending already happened. It already happened. You just haven't let yourself stop loving them yet. And you never stop loving someone, right? If it's true love. But you start loving yourself, right? This is what, okay, I loved him, but the expense of me. And that's like, it's not self-love, right? And now you don't have to. Now you don't have to. So it's just about grieving. Like, make a space to grieve this weekend. And you just have to stop waiting for them. Like, I put so much love and energy in this person, and I'm waiting for them to love me back, to respect me, to value me, to see me, and they're not, right? They're not. So it's just accepting the truth here, MGs. Okay? So that's the MGs. And then, okay, let's go for the projectors. There. Oh, there's the Page of Cups again. There's the Devil. So projectors. So what do we got here? So Four of Swords here. She's in her little nest. So what is this saying? That you've been holding too much, and now your body, you've been holding too much. So now your body and your heart, right, and your soul are demanding silence. Demanding silence. That's the Four of Swords. It's the only real positive swords card in the deck in tarot is the Four of Swords. So this is sacred exhaustion, like you're spiritually exhausted. It's not depression. It's the energetic hangover of loving, right? Loving someone with no return. It's not coming back to you, right? So you've been watching, you've been waiting, you've been holding this relationship quietly, hoping for an invitation, but nothing came, right? So this is about resting, and it's not because you failed. That's the shadow, right, of the 32 this weekend in the full moon. It's because you're finished, right? You're finished with this experience. So this card says to stop trying to figure it all out and let your nervous system release the waiting. And I said this at the beginning of the video, right? To truly grieve a relationship, right? Or that version of the relationship that you have too much self-esteem now, right? That you have to release it at a somatic level. So it has to come through your body, right? And the rest helps you, like to rest your body, and let your body grieve. Okay, so stop trying to figure it all out, as projectors will try to do, right? And then you've got the Devil reversed. So you're finally ready to stop attaching your worth to their reflection and how they see me, right? How they see me. So I'm no longer going to attach to that, like how they see me. So this is a break from fantasy, power imbalance, trauma bonding, erotic obsession, masked as a spiritual connection. So there could be like a lusting here too, that you're calling a spiritual connection. You've mistaken soul entanglement for intimacy, but now you see it, and you don't have to save them. You don't have to save them or fix them. You don't have to stay loyal to the pain that you're feeling in this relationship. So this is clean detachment, not cold, right, but clear. So it's really looking at this dynamic and looking at this. Now, it doesn't mean that this relationship's just going to go away, but these, especially if it's a twin flame, right? You got to get clean. It has to be clean. The energy has to be clean. So you're just digging this out and getting truthful here. And then the anchor is the Page of Cups. And this is asking the question, what if love could be soft again, right? And light, right? So this is the reawakening of your emotional innocence. It's the inner child card, right? It's like what coming in more into emotional innocence. So this is the part of you that still wants to love, to hope, to trust, but not from sacrifice, right? Not from a place of sacrifice. And you're not jaded. Doesn't mean you're jaded about love in relationship. It just means you're recalibrating, right, with this Four of Swords. So this card is your emotional rebirth. It's an emotional rebirth for the projectors. So you got to be gentle with yourself this weekend and let the next invitation come without armor on, right? Without your armor on. So this is for the projectors, is you're not broken, you're healing. You're not disconnected, you're detoxing, right? With this devil reverse, you're detoxing. And the bond wasn't a lie with this relationship, but the way you gave yourself away was never required. It's saying that you gave yourself away. So the next time you love, it will because it feels like peace. It feels like a peace, not a duty, right? Not a duty, but peace. Okay, so that's what we have for the projectors. And then let's look at the manifestors here. Where are the manifestors? Okay. Well, there's the Judgment card again, and the Six of Swords. So what's this saying, manifestors? It's saying that you know it's time to move on, right? It's time to move on because you got the Six of Swords here with the Judgment. But let's start with the Hierophant first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Hierophant reversed. The old structures, because the Hierophant card is about structures, no longer fits with who you're becoming. So you've been trying to play the spiritual good girl here, following teachings that suppress your wild feminine, trying to fit into systems that ask you to wait, pray, or submit. But deep down, you know this is not your path, and it doesn't lead to freedom, right? So it's got some religious connotations here that you have to let go of. So this is a full spiritual shedding, a realization that the truth that you once served now feels like a cage, right? So this is letting go of tradition, any kind of tradition here. Okay, and then the Six of Swords reversed in Judgment. You know it's time to move on, but you haven't fully answered the call yet, right? So you feel the pull of destiny with the Judgment there, but something is keeping you anchored. And it could be fear of rejection, abandonment, shame, being too much, doubt that you're worthy of initiating a new cycle alone, right? It's that theme of alone now, again. So Judgment says you've outgrown this connection, right? Or this spiritual role here. But you haven't admitted to yourself yet that you've outgrown it. So the boat's ready to go, right? The boat's waiting. But you're still standing on the dock here. So the anchor is the Knight of Wands reversed, right? So this is hot and cold, right? Hot and cold relationships, right? And this is stop following immature masculine energy, right? And stop letting inconsistency define your worth, because the Knight of Wands is in and out, not committal, not available. So you're here, you're done with half-baked, right? The half-baked love offers from this masculine. Spiritual bypassing. An internal night energy that chases everything but peace, right? Remember, manifestors, that's your signature is peace. So you want to pause and don't act from impulse or desperation, and let your power come back into your body before you move again. This Knight of Wands energy's got you out of your body, out of your power, right? So you were not wrong to love, that's the message, but you're wrong to keep following what keeps you small. This Knight of Wands reverse keeps you small. like always out of balance, right? Like you're not centered in your body and your power. So the next chapter won't be initiated through pain. It will be activated through truth. And the call you've been waiting for is coming from inside you, right? It's coming from inside you. And you don't need their yes, right? Their yes. You don't need their yes. You only need your own. So it's really, to me, it's like bringing your focus back internally for the manifestors. And let's go for the generators. And isn't that interesting? I think last week you got the Eight of Pentacles too, which is such a generator card. It's about working, right? Okay. So you've got the Eight of Swords reversed here. And what else? The Eight of Swords reversed. And then the Magician, the Eight of Pentacles. And there's that Judgment card again. It's going to be a big weekend for the Fractal here. So this is, you've been working hard, right? That's what this says. Spiritually, even physically, you've been working hard, generators, to manifest a connection that's not fully aligned anymore. So this full moon is calling you out of the illusion gently but firmly. Okay? So this is saying the Eight of Swords reversed is you're not stuck. You're just afraid to stop doing the work. What will happen if I stop doing the work on this relationship? So this is the card of mental entrapment, breaking down. It's like a mental prison here, right? So the realization that you've been trying to fix or earn love, right? You're trying to fix or earn love. That was never meant to be like you to be giving all that energy to, right? Laboring over. But you've told yourself, if I just do one more healing, right? If I do one more workshop, if I'm just more patient, right? Maybe he'll awaken, right? Maybe he'll be on the journey with me. But now it's saying that you've always had the key with the Eight of Swords reversed. This has all been in your mind, a mind trap. You just didn't want to use it because using it meant I have to walk away, right? So then you've got the Magician and the Eight of Pentacles. This is very powerful here. So this is saying that you're powerful, you're magnetic, but where's that energy going? So you've been pouring your creative energy into a ghost, right? Into a ghost, this relationship. Manifesting in the direction of a connection that isn't co-creating. He's not stepping up. He's not co-creating with you. And so you've been building on a foundation that someone else already walked away from. They're already gone, right? But you're in this illusion that they're there. They're present with you and they're already gone. They already left. They left the room and you didn't get the memo, right? So it's you're feeding a ghost. So you don't have to give up on love, it says here, right? You just have to stop building where you're not met, where they're not rising to you. So this is a call to reclaim your power, right? And not reclaim your power for you. Not so you're using it to impress other people, but for you. Your power is for you. And this is giving you a sacred redirection. So the anchor is the Judgment reversed, and this saying like, it's time. You just don't want to say it out loud yet. So this is the wake-up call that keeps ringing quietly in the background, right? It's that alarm going off on your phone. It's like in the corner somewhere. It's not stopping, this alarm, but it's going to get louder. So this is the wake-up call that keeps ringing quietly in the background. You hear it, but it means that you have to let go of an old version of love that you've worked so hard at, right? You've worked so hard at to keep it alive and sustain it. But it's not the connection that's dying. It's the illusion of what it's supposed to be. And that's that expectation, right? Letting go of the expectation of what this love is supposed to be. Well, I do all these things for you, and then you should do these things for me, right? That's tribal consciousness, the tit for tat bargain, right? So this card asks you, can you allow yourself to evolve without the final conversation? Without the final conversation. Can you bless the bond and still walk alone? Walk alone. So this is saying you're not stuck, generators. You're sacredly redirection. You're going in a redirection. You're not stuck. You're just being called to direct your energy and you elsewhere. So you're not giving up. You're giving yourself back to yourself. You don't need more proof. You already know what's true. And now take all the love you gave to someone else's potential, right? So I can see their potential. I gave all this love to their potential, not them, the real them, right? And you're pouring it back into you, right? You're pouring it back into your to you and your future, and right, and someone else that's ready to rise to you, generators. Okay. Okay, and let's go to the reflectors for the end. There's that Page of Pentacles again. I love to see these, the common themes, right, with the fractal. So Page of Pentacles reverse is that you keep waiting for the invitation to begin, but it never arrives. It never arrives. This card is showing you there's fatigue, right? There's fatigue here. Fatigue around starting something with someone who never follows through. Wanting to study, heal, build, but always alone. You always feel alone. So listening to deeply to other people's needs, right? And still not being seen yourself. And this is your inner voice saying, when do I get to start on my path, right? When do I get a mirror that reflects me? I'm busy reflecting everybody else. When do I get the mirror? So the page reverse says sacred hesitation, right, is because of past disappointment, right? So you're dealing with past disappointment here, right? Like who's like looking around, who's here for me? I'm here for everybody else, but who's here for me? And then the Three of Pentacles reversed is you're still trying to collaborate with people that they can't recognize you. They can't see you. They can't see your genius, right? Reflectors are geniuses. So your reflectors, right, have, in terms of your you as a reflector, Divine Feminine, is you've probably supported partners, right? Supported your partners, contributed to group dynamics, been the quiet stabilizer, and now you're realizing this wasn't real. It wasn't real collaboration. I'm carrying emotional labor and calling it spiritual partnership. Again, it's like the MGs. I'm carrying all this weight, this emotional weight, and it's not mine, right? I'm taking on the pain. Well, the fractal reading too, taking on this pain of others, right? And I'm calling it spiritual partnership. So this is saying you're not here to hold it all together for everyone else. You're here to reflect truth and not to fix their dysfunction. You're just the mirror, right? You're just the mirror. So the anchor here is the Six of Pentacles reversed, and this is you've been given way too much and no return. It's out of balance. It's in reverse. So this is your core wound right now. You become mirrors to karmic imbalance, reflecting what others can't or won't own themselves. They won't own it. And but there's no more fuel for this, right? There's no more fuel for this. So you can't keep giving your reflection to people who refuse to see you. And this is the moment to call your energy back. Not from resentment, but because I need to recalibrate. I need to restore myself now. I'm calling back my energy. So you weren't wrong for giving, right? For giving to others. But now you're exhausted from being the mirror of the people that never really looked. They couldn't see your genius. They couldn't see what you're reflecting back to them. So you don't need to disappear to survive. You just need to remember that you're the moon, right? The full moon. You're the moon, and you don't have to orbit anywhere else. You're the moon. Be the moon and reflect back, right? For the people that can see you. So the next time you say yes, let it be because it nourishes you first. So you want to factor in yourself first. Okay. So that's what I have for everybody, and an hour and 19 minutes. So have a great weekend, and oh, I have to mention the meditation, the Kundalini Yoga meditation here for this weekend. So I'll put the link below, either in the comment section, because I do timestamps, or in the information section. Look for this. And it's a powerful Kundalini Yoga meditation. It works a lot with the lungs. And so it's also guided, like a guided meditation by me. And this will really help you to let go, to start to release somatically, right, through your body. Will help you this way. So you want to practice this weekend. And this is free, and it's on my my website. Okay? So be sure to do that. And what do I want to say? Is that you'll be fine. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. And you'll look back at this time in the future, and you're going to see the blessing of it, right? Yes, it was hard. It was difficult to let go of that relationship, but now I see the blessing. I see that they could only walk so far with me on the path, right? And you're going to see this very, very clearly. But when you're in the middle of it, your work is just to let go, is to continually let go, and to trust the divine plan for you, right? Even if you can't see it. I'm not seeing anything in the horizon. I'm not seeing anything. All I see is loss. I'm losing. I'm not gaining. You have to trust that the gains come. The gains come after the loss. Remember, the universe doesn't like a vacuum, right? But you have to let go so the new can come in. There's no room for the new to come in if you're clinging to the old. Okay? And I will see you on Tuesday, right? Yeah, on Tuesday. Okay. Satnam Aloha, everybody. Take really good care of yourself. Bye-bye.